and how do you convert fat into muscle? Let's do some cardio. Let me try and explain, or let me give my input on those three questions. I think the first one, which I feel it maybe applies to a lot of people, is when you're trying to lose weight and you've hit a plateau, or you've gotten to a point where you feel that your body has stopped losing weight, or your body has sort of stopped responding. That happens because I believe, when you have a decent amount of fat, your body likes it like that. Or let me put it this way, that your body does not want discomfort. Anything that is uncomfortable, your body will take that as danger, and your body will try and protect you, or that will be the body's intention, that let's fight against this discomfort. So now, when you try to lose weight, you'll get to a stage where, um, apologies, I think the music is slightly too loud. Ah, sorry about that. It's supposed to be just background music. It's not supposed to be, the main thing. Okay. So what I was saying is that your body, anything that your body interprets as danger, your body will try and protect your body from that. So losing fat, your body most likely takes that as a danger, or it's a discomfort. So your body will try its utmost best to protect you from that. So now, meaning now that one of the reasons that when you're trying to lose weight is, when you hit a plateau, is that because your body has adapted to your means or your mechanisms that you have employed in trying to lose weight. So meaning now your body already knows that, we're cutting calories, we going for a walk for 15 to 20 minutes, um, we're drinking protein shake, we're sleeping for whatever hours. So now the approach that I would suggest to combat uh, the plateau, unfortunately, you just need to get more aggressive. If your goal that you set for yourself, you have not reached, for example, I've wanted to lose X amount of kilograms or pounds, and let's say 10,000 steps a day, you're in a caloric deficit, maybe by half, you eating a certain amount of protein. If that is not working, you need to get more aggressive. From 10,000 steps, maybe do 15 with a bike in between, or maybe instead of doing 10,000 all at once, maybe do 5,000 in the morning, 5,000 during lunch if you have an office job, and 5,000 in the afternoon. And if you were fasting during the day, switch it up. Eat smaller meals, because smaller meals, they sort of trigger fat loss because you feed your body just a little bit, and your body will be saying, "Oh, we have a source of energy. Okay, then let's use it up quickly." But now, then you pull back, and then your body will still be trying to sort of use that energy, but you won't be giving it. So that is a trick that one can employ. Oh, Abdul, hope you're doing good, my brother. Thank you so much for watching. I have Abdul watching on YouTube. Thank you so much, Abdul, for the support. And then if there's any questions, please let me know. I'm just quickly discussing how do you, um, what do you do when you hit a plateau when you're trying to lose weight. So we've realized now that your body has adapted to your processes of losing weight. So now you need to get aggressive or double up on whatever effort that you are putting in place. So as I said, for example, if you're doing X amount of steps, do more. If you're doing intermittent fasting, do it for longer. If you're doing 16 hours, do 18, do 20. If intermittent fasting is not working or you want to switch it up, do smaller meals. As I said, with smaller meals, what happens is that you feed your body just a little bit, and your body will be like, oh, we have energy. Well, let's use up the energy, or let's have fun with the energy, and then you pull back the energy. So your body will still be continuing to sort of um, the normal processes still be doing them at the highest level, because you need to understand that when you're limiting the food intake, your body is like, hey, what's going on? Are we in trouble? Are we what is happening? Where's the energy? Where's the food? And then your body will adapt its normal body processes like breathing, digestion, blood flow will sort of use less energy to do those things, because your body will be feeling like, okay, we're in trouble, so let's save some energy. So now when you're eating smaller meals, you'll be tricking your body to say, hi, do not worry, we have plenty of supplies, but I'm just giving it enough, and then uh, tricking the body to do its normal processes as if there's a lot of energy. Meaning now that you use up the small meal that you've put in quickly, and then you'll have to tap in now to the fat that you try to get rid of. So that is a trick, or that is something that you can do to switch it up. Because as I said, your body will adapt to whatever you're trying to do. So now for you to succeed, you need to sort of trick it. Because your body, whatever your body interprets as danger to the body will do its best to protect itself. I don't know if you ever heard of, okay, I think that's not a good example. I'm going to leave that alone because I don't think it's a good example. But all in all, your body will do whatever it takes to protect it with from anything that your body interprets as danger. Losing fat, your body does not like that. So your body will do its best to prevent that or to make it harder. For you to succeed, you need to be aggressive and need to double up on the efforts. Okay. And another thing that I mentioned that I wanted to sort of discuss is there anything that is called stress fat? or cortisol fat. Cortisol is the hormone that is released when you're stressed. Scientifically, no. But this is um, if you're stressed, what happens is that all the other things in and around you becomes sort of interrupted. So meaning now that your sleep is interrupted, your eating is interrupted, even perhaps your schedule will be interrupted by stress. So meaning now that it's not the hormone itself that would lead to you gaining weight, but it will be the effect of stress, like not sleeping enough, not eating correctly, or trying to eat so you can feel good, and not having a schedule that is sort of in line with the goal that you're trying to achieve. So it's a sort of indirect impact on your fitness goal or on your fat loss goal. So stress by itself will not cause you to gain weight, but the effect that comes with stress, you know, um, sleep wise, and irregular sleep, trying to eat so you can feel good because of the stress, and poor management of your schedule, meaning that you don't have a chance to work out or go to the gym, you know, all of that. So that is, you know, my sort of approach, or the way I see that there's no direct connection between losing or gaining fat because of stress. It's just indirect effects of stress. And another point that I wanted to sort of address, I'm doing cardio at the same time, so yeah, I'm also feeling that I'm doing something. So speaking and pedaling at the same time, I can definitely feel it. Mm, Another thing is that, as I mentioned earlier, is is it possible to convert fat into muscle? That exact statement, perhaps you can say that it's not possible because you cannot convert fat into muscle, meaning now that you cannot keep the fat and change into muscle. But what will happen is that your body will replace the fat with the muscle, meaning now that you can build muscle, and then you can make use of the fat in the process of building muscle, because fat, it's essentially energy or extra calories that you consumed, and then your body didn't know what to, or your body did not have use for it. So your body converted it into fat. So meaning now that it sort of reserved energy of some sort. So you can use that fat and then turn it into energy. And that energy, you can use it to build muscle. Meaning now that as more effort you're putting in the gym, and obviously your diet is decent and all of that, the more now, you know, you'll be looking more muscular because you're going to be less fats in the body and more muscle that you're going to be building. So that is um, how I would sort of answer that question, if it's possible to replace or to convert your fat into muscle or not. And another question that I get regularly is that, should you do cardio before or after your weight session at the gym? And I answer this question for two different individuals. I believe it's not one answer that applies to everyone. So this question I'll answer for a sort of an advanced lifter, somebody who's been training for at least minimum 5 years, and then someone who's been training for 5 weeks. So if you've been training for 5 weeks and your goal is to gain muscle, that is your main goal. You don't not secondary goal maybe is to lose weight and whatever, but your main goal is to lose weight. That, I mean, not lose weight. Your main goal is to gain muscle. That is your main goal. You want to build muscle, you want to have decent shoulders, you want decent chest and all of that. And then you, my brother, my sister, whatever else is in between, you have no business doing cardio before your weight session, because the energy that you're going to use in your cardio session is the same energy that you need for your weight session. Remember now that this individual, they are strictly, or their main goal is to gain weight. I mean, not gain weight, is to build muscle. That is their main goal, is to build muscle. And how do you build muscle? You build muscle, obviously your diet, protein and all of that. But now we're at the gym. You build your muscle with the weight, not with the cardio. Because the same energy, as I said, is the same that you use when you're doing cardio. It's the same that you need for your weight session. Meaning now that if you do cardio first, by the time you get to the weight, your energy is depleted. Whatever effort you have given to assist or get you closer to your goal to gain weight, you'd have used all that energy on the cardio, and you will just give the bare minimum, or you're not gonna be able to gain the muscle to that level, you know, because you sort of, let's say for example now, the gym is like when you go to the grocery store to buy, your food, you know, the weight is the protein side of the grocery store, and the the cardio, it's, the carbs and the veggies side of the grocery store. And you have a strict budget. So if you go into the grocery stores and then you start, by, the carbs and the veggies and the fruit, by the time you get to the protein part, you'll have less money to spend. And I believe that, protein is sort of the main thing if you want to get muscle. So that's where you should start spending. And then whatever is left, you can spend it on, the carbs and the veggies. And not to get too technical with the eating part, but just as an example, that if your goal is to gain muscle, your main goal at the gym is to lift weight, cardio secondary, or even no cardio, because you want to build muscle. So that is for somebody who's been lifting for 5 weeks. But now, for somebody who's been lifting for 5 years or more, sort of an advanced lifter, if I can put it that way, perhaps this individual is no longer interested in building muscle, is trying to perhaps maybe maintain. That individual, they can do cardio first and then do the weight second because maybe they've built, decent amount of muscle. They're no longer interested in building any further muscle. They just want to be healthy or they're doing it for a particular reason, whatever the case is. That individual, that individual, then they can do cardio first and then weight later because their goal is to maintain. They are not interested in building any new muscle. But if your goal is to build new muscle or more muscle, you have no business doing cardio before your weight session. That is, I believe, that is my experience. So, and then just another sort of addition to the individual who's been training for 5 weeks, further tips. When it comes to supplementation, I really believe in creating monohydrate. If the budget is limited and you can only buy one supplement, creatine monohydrate would be the obvious choice because of the benefit when it comes to your strength, um, your recovery, that fuller look that you get. I take creatine now probably because unfortunately before, because of I would say laziness on my side to do research on creatine and all of that. I used to take creatine on and off, but that was before I did sort of a deeper research on creatine and the benefits and all of that. But now creatine every day, so you can say now it's been maybe like 5 years of an uninterrupted. If I'm interrupted, like maybe a day or so, but in the last 5 years, I don't recall the day where I went 2 days without taking creatine. So that would be the supplement that I would recommend. If you have to only choose one supplementation, creatine is the one. The others, because the main reason is for you to get the 5 grams of creatine that you get from the one scoop, the amount of meat that you must eat, it's quite costly and also it may be difficult to sort of eat that amount of meat because one of the main food sources with creatine or the highest dose of creatine is red meat. And then for 5 grams, if I'm not mistaken, it's more than a kilo that you must eat. Think about how much it will cost and just think about, that heavy um, beef, steak, whatever, in your stomach. And it takes a while to digest and all of that. But just taking creatine, the powder form, which is costing less than a kilo of steak that lasts for the whole month, it's definitely, a better alternative. And I think other important supplements, magnesium and zinc, I would put second to creatine just to help you with your sleep because most of the muscle growth and most of the the benefit of the work that you're doing in the gym, it sort of gets realized when you are sleeping. So if there's a supplement that can improve your sleep, it's definitely a supplement that should be having in the mix. So now you've had your creatine, you pumped, strength is high, recovering is good after you've worked out, and now couple that with decent amount of sleep, even if you're not trying so hard. But with those two, you will definitely feel and look different. Just those two, supplement wise, just those two. Your creatine to help you at the gym, strength wise, and your zinc and magnesium to improve your sleep. Just those two. If you can do those two, and then 30 days, there's no improvement. Maybe diet wise could be a little bit loosey, but I believe those two together. So meaning now that you have your creatine and you're also getting at least 6.5 hours of sleep, but because of your zinc and magnesium, it will be quality sleep. I think with those ones, whatever you want to achieve with your body, 30 days, you'll definitely see the result. And obviously, if you want to take it to sort of take it further or improve on that, you can definitely do other things. Think about intermittent fasting, uh, see how you're training, you know, the water intake and all of that. But with those two, that could be, a decent foundation. So that is just my take on supplementation side. Uh, well, I just finished this cardio of mine. I think I'm left about 2 minutes or so. Um, I need to repeat. I've said this before. I'll say it again. One of the main reasons that you need to do cardio is that in the gym, you don't want to reach cardiovascular. Hold on now, give me a moment. Cardiovascular failure before you can reach muscular failure. Meaning now that you don't want to be struggling to breathe before the bicep is exhausted. So you want the cardiovascular failure to be second to muscular failure because you're at the gym to build muscle. So you don't want anything else to interfere with that. So that's why I do cardio. But remember, not on the same, not within an hour of your weight. So now I'm gonna do cardio, then I'm talking about 11 min, then I'll go to the gym, and then I'll walk to the gym. So you gotta do your cardio. If not for anything else, just for that you do not want to reach cardiovascular failure before you reach muscular failure. Because I'm guessing if you're watching this, you have to build muscle. So now you want the muscle to fail first before you struggle to breathe or whatever the case is. So do your cardio, please. That's the main reason why I do cardio, and then I do decent amount of walking to make sure that cardiovascular failure does not interfere with my workout. It's, it's very important. If you don't know, now you know. If you're doubting it, try it for yourself. Just work on your cardiovascular and then see if that does not improve your your weight sessions. So that is that. Thank you so much for those who are watching. Um, for coaching, just click the link in my bio somewhere, or you can inbox me or send me an email, and then we'll talk. Um, what else? Subscribe, like, and do all the nice things. For any questions that you'd like me to discuss on my next Q&A, I'll do this as much as I can, but not less than once a week. just pop it in a comment. And then, yes, have a good day. Drink your water, call your mother, kiss your kids.